Hi friends, and welcome to my channel where we encourage each other to be better and do good. Today we're talking about life lessons from a friend, myths that I believed when I was young. A few days ago, one of my friends, Roger Smith, posted on Facebook some ideas he had come up with, which he entitled Myths That I Believed When I Was Young. M-Y-T-H-S, Myths That I Believed When I Was Young. And I thought those were so good. The ideas, the concepts were so meaningful and so impactful. I asked Roger, would it be okay if I shared his ideas on one of my YouTube videos? Roger was kind and gracious enough to say yes. So Roger, thank you very much, and I hope I do justice to your ideas. So Roger actually posted eight different ideas that he said were myths that he believed when he was young, but for time's sake, we're only going to hit the first 4. And here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you Roger's thoughts and his myth and his comments, and then I'll follow it up with my own ideas, concepts of motivation and encouragement. But here's what Roger said. He said, now that I've reached the wonderful milestone known as the 50s, he's younger than me, I can confidently say that I know something about adulthood. One thing I've learned is that my perception on life now is vastly different than when I was a child. I'd like to reflect on some of the myths that I believed when I was young. And here's his number one. Number one myth I believed when I was young, Roger says, is that grandparents would always be around. Roger says, I was fortunate to have known all of my grandparents and 3 of my great-grandparents. They each held a special place in my heart, but my last grandparent left this life in 2014, and now all I have left is the treasured memories of those precious people. Well, like Roger, I was blessed and fortunate enough to also know all of my grandparents, and actually 5 of my great-grandparents, and that truly is a blessing. So what I would like to say to you is we have different stages of life that we go through. We're children, we're adolescents, we're young adults, we're middle-aged, we're senior citizens. And as we go through these different lives, usually when we are children, adolescents, maybe even young adults, we have the blessing of having our parents, our grandparents, and maybe even your great-grandparents with us. And maybe you're at a stage young in life when your grandparents and your great-grandparents are there with you. The myth is that they will always be there. That just isn't so, is it? And at some point in your life, as you go through your different stages, you'll find that they become, as Roger says there, the precious memory. Well, what I would like to encourage, motivate each of us to do is when we're in those stages of our life where we have our parents and grandparents and maybe even blessed enough to have great-grandparents with us, use that time. Spend time with them, do things with them, share your life with them, share their life with you, so that when you reach the stage of your life, when they have passed on and they're no longer with us in this life, that memory you have of them is indeed, as Roger commented, a precious memory. Number 2 myth that Roger puts out here, he says, and I like this one, I can't wait until I'm old enough to move out, do whatever I want to, and stay up as late as I like. Well, here's Roger's comments. Boy, I found out the truth about this one. As an adult, we still have to follow certain rules. And staying up late, well, when you have to get up early for your job, the early to bed, early to rise makes a lot of sense. Well, many years ago when Lori and I were dating, and she expressed to me that one of the attributes she really thought was important in the man that she would marry and spend the rest of her life with was what she called responsibility. And she talked about how important, how meaningful that was to her. And we joke about she took a branding iron and put this big R with a circle around it, branded it on my chest. Well, no, she didn't, literally do that. There's no tattoo, no brand there, but embedded it so much that I knew that that was so important to my wife, that she have a person in her life who was responsible, who exhibited responsible actions. And that has been meaningful. So as we've gone through our life, I've done things that were responsible. I've also slipped and done things not as responsible. But we always come back to, well, at least you put that brand of that big R on my chest. So I realize the responsibility that we share. And you know, as we go through life, yes, when we're young, we're thinking, yeah, I can't wait to get out of my parents' house. I can't wait to do whatever it is I want to do. And then as we get into the next stage of life of young adult, we begin to realize, oh, I have a job. Oh, I have to get up early. So therefore, maybe I need to go to bed early so that I get enough rest. And what we tend to learn and find as we go through these different stages is responsibility. I have now responsibilities. I have to pay bills. Maybe if you get married, I now have a spouse. Then if you have children, I now have children. And so that I want to encourage you not only to be responsible in taking care of your spouse, your husband, your wife, your children, your family, but also, here's what I think the ultimate is, if you will. That as you know, we're young, we think, I can't wait to do whatever it is I want to do. But what I would encourage and motivate you is that along the life of the track of those different stages of life, what it becomes important, what it is that you want to do is the thing that is responsible. Not only do you choose to do the responsible thing, but you choose to make the responsible thing the thing that you most want to do. Well, here we go. Last ones. These last two are connected, so I'm going to do 3 and 4 kind of together. The third myth that Roger has here, a myth that I believed when I was young, is I will not ever get old. I won't ever get old. Well, here's his comment. Yes, you will. Your hair will turn gray. Young adults will call you sir or ma'am. Aches and pains will stick around longer. Yep, you will get old. We all will go through these. If we're fortunate, if we're blessed enough to live a long life, we go through the different stages of life. And at some point we realize, whoa, I'm old. Here's his last one. Okay, then maybe I'll get old, but it will be a long time coming. And here's Roger's comment. Nope. Every decade will seem faster than the previous, and you will be amazed how quickly old age will catch up with you. Yes, we all, if we're fortunate and blessed to live long enough, we go through these stages of life from youth to adolescence to young adult to middle age to senior citizen. And as we go through these, yes, it seems to go by faster and faster, doesn't it? I have a whole theory around that, but I need a whiteboard and a chalkboard and some Einstein equations to work it all out for you. But suffice it to say that it seems to be the truth. As we go through life, life goes by faster. It's faster and faster from one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year to the next. And if we're blessed to live through all of the stages, yep, we get old. We turn around, we're like, how did that happen? But let me wrap up here with Roger's comment. With all that being said, there are so many good things about getting older. You may even find you're happier as you age. Don't fear it. Accept it as a part of life, a path that we all go down. Well, again, whatever stage of life you are in right now, as you go from one to the next, to the next, and to the next, if you're blessed to live a long life, what I encourage you to do is make the decisions, share with others, create those memories, and take those responsible actions so that as you go from one stage to the next, you have chosen the right path. The path that you're on is a good one for you. If you enjoyed the video, please go down below and click that thumbs up. Give it a like. That means so much to me, means so much to YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with others. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.